So what is going on, guys? I'm gonna try to film as much as I can today. I did get my line and my fittings for the focus for the tranny lines. This radiator has spots for a tranny cooler right here and on the bottom. I don't know how well it works, but it should be fine, as it's just the stock motor on this tranny, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I'm also going to actually mess with the wiring today and maybe get the starter and alternator wired up. Look at some more stuff on the Holly harness that needs to be wired up still. And yeah, maybe go about wiring the headlights. I forgot to get metal to make the battery tray in the back, but that should be pretty easy to get. What else am I gonna do today? Oh yeah, I'm gonna install the fuel pump too. I got that right here. I don't think I showed this yet. There's a Bosch 044, so it should work pretty good. I think it's like 300 liters per hour. Should work nice for just on the motor. But yes, let me get to routing these tranny lines real quick. So I did get the tranny cooler lines all ran. These are push lock fittings, focus, and that is regular AN line. But I got 2 barbs in, so hopefully that's enough for it to seal. If not, I'll put some hose clamps on them, but I don't think it has a lot of pressure. But yeah, it just runs right under there. You ain't gonna be able to see it, but it just runs back into the tranny, up into here. Yeah, it just runs along there, or along the key member, or along the motor, and then up into there. Should be way away from the exhaust, so that's good. But yeah, so now move on to the next thing, which is the fuel pump. And it's underneath the car, so don't have to drop the tank for that because it's inline, and we'll get started on that shit right now. So I did get the lines on the fuel pump all plumbed in there. I gotta make a little bracket for it. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I'm still kind of playing with the idea, but kind of want to put it up like this, so there's no kinks in the lines or anything. I like this, but gonna make a little plate that has like a little bow in it right here for this, and then I'm gonna, here, let me grab one of these. Might be easier to explain. Up here. So this thing focus. So this thing has a bow in it, right? I'm gonna put the pump like on the bottom side here, and then I'm gonna take this, drill holes in it in 2 spots, and then put this over it to hold the pump in place. And then I will mount this plate to the body of the car, like off to the side. I'll put like self-tapping screws into all 4 corners of it. Obviously I'm gonna trim this plate up, but I'm just gonna see what it kind of looks like with this rough estimate of a bend in it. But yeah, just gonna make a bracket for it real quick, real simple to install. So I got these little brackets made and this plate made for it. Should work pretty good. The fuel pump doesn't go anywhere, and it's rubber mounted to this aluminum plate. I'm gonna, let me see if I can show you. Gonna kind of set it up in there somewhat and put some self tappers here and here, and on the backside over here put 4 of them total. Shouldn't go anywhere. If I have any problems with it, I'll just drill all the way through and then put bolts with nuts through the backside and just find it inside. But it should be pretty good for now. Get the fuel pump all mounted up. One less problem we got to deal with. So yes, it is a little hood with the self-tapping screws, but they're really strong. Got 3 on this side, and let's see if I can show you this. You got 2 on this other side right here. It doesn't go anywhere. I was wiggling it back and forth earlier. It's really solid, so that's good. I put the hose clamp on, so now we're good. Using the stock feed and return lines with this pump. Hopefully this filter is good. And yes, I am using the stock rear end. We're gonna pull the diff out and we're gonna weld it. As sketch as that sounds, but I need both tires to hook up, or else I'm definitely not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, for those of you asking in the last video. But I think now I'm gonna go get some material to make my battery tray, and then me and Charlie are gonna wire this thing up maybe today.
Yeah, that's right.
You eating rice?
Yep.
Shit, that stereotype of Asian people eating rice. Zoom in, bitch. What are you doing?
Right here. See this?
What? 2 meals?
fired up the grill.
For the doggo?
Huh?
For the doggo?
Walk the dog. You know, with a walk.
Oh, funny. Okay, bye.
See?
Alright, so I went and got a whole bunch of material, just some angle iron, to make this battery holder. I got my assistant
Oh, yes.
measuring stuff out so we can cut it.
More like the mastermind behind it.
Shut up. So we got this little pan, or battery holder right here, whatever you want to call it. It's welded in there pretty good. The four corners of this middle bar are welded, and then the middles are just tacked on each side of those little ribs. And then they're welded here and here, and then on the back sides of those plates, so it shouldn't go anywhere, hopefully. I'm gonna have to notch the carpet to get the slide underneath here. I'm just gonna notch it for this little bar here, and hopefully I can push it underneath there and slide it through. I don't know if I have any wires to run the alternator and starter, so I'm gonna dig through this stock harness and see if I can find any wires I could use. I'm pretty sure the stock starter ones should be there, so an alternator one. I'll see if I can find them. I got this 3-inch exhaust made up for this side. That's for this side right here. It just comes out right over in there somewhere. This side is on. It's gonna be really fucking loud, but it's right there. You might not be able to see it because of the lighting, but yeah, just comes right out the side. I've got some little things I've got to do still. I did get most of the wiring ran. I got my alternator wire ran to the starter, and then from the starter I have it to the battery. These 3 wires are ran. The green one is the switch wire for the relay to the fuel pump, and the red is fucking, the blue's attack, and I can't remember what the red is. I think it's just a switch 12 volt. Harness is plugged in. I don't remember if I showed that or not. Yeah, harness is plugged in. I soldered up, I mean it's still a mess, but I wired up the fuse box so it has ignition now, and got that all wired up. The shifter's mounted, I already showed you guys that. Got the battery mounted back here like this. Right now I'm working on wiring up the relay. I had to go to the parts store. This is the relay for the fuel pump. Right now I got to work on hooking up these grounds real quick. I don't have much left to do, honestly. I got to hook these grounds up on both sides of the heads. I need to run grounds from the head here to the chassis on both sides, and it does need that little ground on this side too. I need to hook the grounds up on the battery, put oil in it, and figure out the vacuum stuff. Like I have to block off some of this stuff, and then it should be ready to crank and start. Oh, actually no, I got to mount the ECU first, and I also have to mount the digital dash. I got some stuff for that, so I got to make a plate to fit in this stock shroud right here. This like stock, fucking this little plastic thing. So I got to make that. And then, yeah, hopefully starting it up soon. Maybe today or tomorrow. We'll see, I guess. Hopefully it's not too loud with that 3-inch exhaust. It just comes right out the headers. But it's a race car, so nobody cares if it's loud or not. It's supposed to be loud. But yeah, so I'm just going to work on getting some of this little wiring stuff buttoned up, grounds. So I did get the ECU mounted. Hopefully you can see that up in there. It's just right up on top of the tunnel. Those wires are just chilling there. They'll be hung up in the dash, but yeah, so I got the ECU mounted last night. It's pretty easy. Just put some screws into the tunnel. I'm working on mounting the digital dash right now. It's gonna be hard to explain without the dash, so let me grab it real quick. Alright, so now I got this thing mounted. Kind of see what I was talking to you about. It's just got this plate. It runs across. It's got the little weather stripping on both sides of it. You can see it inside on the plate if it'll focus. It doesn't like focusing on shiny metal there, but you can see the weather stripping works really good. Give it a nice little cushion on all 4 corners of the ECU and on the back of this plate. It's not going nowhere. Looks really nice. Yeah, obviously there's a hole here and a hole here. That's all right. I might go back in later and fix that, but for now that's how it's going to be mounted. I like how it looks. Just need to put it in the car real quick and then plug in the wire for it, and that should be done. Got the dash all mounted, nice and clean. Obviously, like I said, there's gonna be these holes here. That's all right. I'll probably make a panel for it at some point that's straight all the way across it, so can't see anything and just paint it black. But yeah, it sits in there real good. Nice and even with the steering wheel, surprisingly. You can see it really nice. I think it's gonna be dope. Just gotta kind of hide some of these wires real quick. I gotta add one little ground to the harness, which is this wire, I think. Yeah, I gotta add this wire to the chassis, ground that out, and then gotta put fluids in it, put the headers on. Oh, that's good. Yeah, this thing's super close. I mean, obviously you're still gonna have to check for leaks and whatnot, but I gotta lower down the tranny. I'm still gonna make a tranny mount, obviously, but to crank it up, I don't have much left. Gotta lower down the tranny so I can unpinch this line, because the freaking line's all pinched in there. But yeah, I'm gonna get to working on this, so hopefully maybe we'll start it up today. So actually, before I do anything else, I'm gonna wire up the dash. There are 2 loose wires, so in a previous video I did say that the dash was just all plug and play, but there's these 2 loose wires. The white one is a constant 12 volt and the black one is a ground, obviously, so real simple to set up. It comes with more than plenty of wire to run it. I don't even fucking know. You can run it to the back of the car and then back up front if you wanted, but it's good they give you a whole bunch of extra wire. I also have to loom it up and hide it, but yeah, wire this bad bitch up real quick. So I got that ground wire on there, turns on, looks dope as hell. Hid this wiring here so you can't see it, and then I also tucked up the wiring on this side so you can't see it as well. I mean, yeah, it's way up in there, but yeah, it works really good. If I had another person here, I'd show you that I can crank it over. It's obviously not going to start because none of the ECU stuff is programmed or anything, and it's not calibrated at all. I have to put the headers on it and spark plugs in it, so I'm going to do that right now. I also have to put this little crossover line on here over to this little fitting, put coolant in it, put oil in it. So everybody's over here waiting for it to start. About to find out right now. We got the tuning prodigy Wyatt over here.
Damn right, boy.
Fucked with the ECU.
This whole engine for him.
I built this entire car.
The little fitting I fucking tried to thread and tap into this, they fucking leaked like a motherfucker. So we just kind of ghettoly put this shit together, but it doesn't leak now. Can try and fire it up. It's got fluids in it.
Well, let's go.
Here,
Fucking
now
got all
take.
year.
Fuck talking.
What are you dumb fucks?
I'm gonna record this so if it
Less
blows up,
talking, more breaking.
I'm gonna. You got a fire extinguisher handy?
Why does it say stall?
Because it's fucking
Stall.
you idiot. Nothing.
Not enough fuel pressure.
Trash, brother. Get valve from